Welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. LeBron James didn't show up to the NBA Finals, and that's why he has 6 finals blowout losses. LeBron didn't show up to the NBA Finals. We know that for a fact, okay? And now he tries to put the blame on Micheal Jordan having no competition. Well, the fact is, regardless of what you think about Micheal Jordan's competition, there's no way Micheal Jordan would have put up the numbers that LeBron put up in his first 3 finals, right? And if Micheal Jordan was playing LeBron's competition in a no-touch era, let me give it to you again. In 2005, they took out the hand checking, and the dummy LeBron fans, oh man, they took that out in the 90s. Well, you can still armbar, and you still can put elbows in the post. You can still do this stuff. I want you guys to go back and watch some of these games. In 96, 97, 98, they were still allowed the armbar, which was close to a hand check, right? On the perimeter. And do armbar in the post, right? So, and a lot of people say, man, I can find tapes, videos of them doing that in 2006, 2007, 2008. I'm not trying to say they weren't still doing it, but it was called more and more if you try to do it when they changed the defensive rules in 2005. That's what I'm telling you. The problem was you had to get these guys time to adjust, right? So when I talk about they took out the 90s defensive rules and you couldn't armbar no more on the perimeter or in the post, a lot of these guys in the 2000s were still coming out of the 90s. So you had to give the guys time to adjust, right? So they were still doing it here and there. You go back and look at the early 2000s before LeBron came in, or no, before they changed rules in 2005, and in the 90s, they're armbarring every damn play, right? Because you could still do that. So basically, again, and when we get into the 10s, it gets really bad. In the 2020s, it's just a joke. It's not even a real man's basketball game no more. So, look, Micheal Jordan, he will be scoring 50 a game in the finals in the LeBron era that he was failing in. And how do we know he was failing? Well, we can go back and look at the numbers. Let's look at this. Micheal Jordan in his first finals, right? 31 points per game. What's it? 6.8 rebounds, 11.4 assists, 2.8 steals. If I'm not mistaken, 3.6 turnovers. %55% from the field. Hold on, you guys, my dog is tripping. Yeah, my fault. 2.8 steals, 1.4 blocks, 3.6 turnovers, 55.8 from the field. 50% from the 3. Right? LeBron, 22 points per game in his first finals. Little dog drinking the water. 7 rebounds, 6.8 assists. Oh, this hurts. 1 steal, 0.5 blocks, 5.8 turnovers, 35.6 field goal percentage, and 20% from 3. Oh man, that man, he attempted 5 a game. That's astronomical that's a lot of attempts back then. 5 a game in 2007, especially when you don't even know how to shoot them. That's crazy. And what I told you guys before, this guy will never, ever try to get good at that mid-range because you got to have touch. You got to have touch. He don't have touch. He's never had touch on a shot, right? So the second finals, Micheal Jordan, 35.8 points per game, 4.8 assists, 6.5 rebounds. No, 4.8 rebounds per game, 6.5 assists, 1.7 steals, 0.3 blocks, 4 turnovers, 52.6 from the field, and he was basically 43% from 3. Remember what happened then, that Jordan couldn't shoot the 3, so he started busting ahead, right? And he shot damn near 5 a game and shot 42%. So You really, I don't even know why they challenged Mike like that. It was ridiculous, right? But LeBron, his second final, 17.8 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 6.8 assists, point 0.7 steals. What do we got here? Point 0.5 blocks. Wow. 4 turnovers, 47.8 from the field. Let's see, 32% from the three. But the man attempted 4.7, damn near 5 a game again, right? Wow. I'm trying to look, goodness gracious. So the third finals. Michael Jordan, 41 points per game, 8.5 assists. Wow. That's just mind blowing. Over 8 assists on 41 points per game. Just imagine if, I don't know, man, he should have kept, having the ball in his hand more than even that. Imagine this dude getting 10 assists with 41 points per game. That's nuts. Oh, no, my fault. I'm looking at this wrong. I was wrong. So 8.5 rebounds. Still, that's a lot for a guard. That's a lot for a guard who is getting you 41 points a game. Wow. And still 6 assists. That's a lot. That's a lot. When you're getting 41 points per game. 1.7 steals, 0.7 blocks. That's pretty good. For a perimeter guy. What do we got? 2.7 turnovers. Wow. Imagine just some of these things we just don't grasp, right? When we see it, 41 points per game, but only 2.7 turnovers? Huh. That's crazy. 50% from the field. Wow. You're averaging 41 points. And they went to game 7 like it was a sweep. God. 50% from the... This dude is unstoppable. Imagine a perimeter player shooting 50% from the field or better. This guy's unstoppable. And this was the third finals. In the second finals, it was 52. In the first, it was 55%. Huh. This is something a center should be shooting, right? A guy that shoots right by the basket. 55%. Anyways, he attempted 4 threes and shot 40%. So what we can say for Michael Jordan, his first 3 finals trumps anybody's first 3 finals appearances, right? Anybody. It ain't even close. It's not even close. He was the GOAT after this, right? Mike showed up and he showed out. He showed up and showed out. Mike wasn't like, oh man, damn. Whoa, I finally made it to the finals, man. Man, let me give him 30. Let me give him 35 and 5. No. No, it wasn't good enough. Mike waited all this time to get to the finals. And he had already been historic in the league all this time. He already set historic numbers and was being called the GOAT, the greatest player of all time. They never, well, I wouldn't say that. Some people would say that, but anybody who really knew basketball, no, he couldn't do it without you can't call him the GOAT without championships, but he could be the greatest of all time, but they're saying he's the greatest player they ever seen. Put it that way. You can say Wilt Chamberlain, but since Wilt Chamberlain, right? So he wasn't losing in the playoffs because of him. It was mostly because of his teams, right? And he didn't have the personnel. But anyways, we all know he swept through the playoffs. He just whooped the competition in the East, right? And he showed up, well, 91. But he showed up to all 3 of these finals, and he showed out, right? He had legendary finals in the first 3, right? The up and under move in midair, the 31 points and 11 assists. Trying to say Magic ain't the only one. You know about the second one? The shoulder shrug, the threes. Broke that record for the most threes. And then the 41 point per game, it might not ever be broken. And you would think it would be broken already with all the threes these guys shoot. And it wasn't like Mike was shooting, he got 41 points, but he was only shooting 45% or, whatever. 50% and 50% plus in his first three finals. I think I made a graphic on Mike's first three finals. I might be able to pull it up in a minute. Versus, or was it first six? Yeah, the first three. As far as the totals on this. So LeBron James finally cracks 25 points, right? With his super team. Wow. Let me check this out. 28.6 points per game. Finally gets 10 rebounds. 10 rebounds for a guy that's 6'9". He finally gets 10 rebounds. And this is what he should be averaging his entire career. 7.4 assists. 1.6 steals. 0.4 blocks. Oh. And this is what I mean. He doesn't have to do a lot. He's always got everybody else doing it. This guy, there's no excuse. This guy is 6'9". He should be averaging a block and a half. But he wants to be this fake Magic Johnson that he's not. He'd never be. 3.8 turnovers, of course. 47.2% field goal percentage, of course. Can never shoot 50%, but most of his shots is around the basket, right? And he don't really miss too much around the basket. It's when he gets in the mid range, in the three, right? Is when he shoots poorly, and it brought down his field goal percentage under 50%. 18.8 from the 3-point. Just a straight embarrassment. And he took 3 a game. And like I said, his average was 18.8. Just an embarrassment. So LeBron already knew, right? There was no mystery to this, what Micheal Jordan did, right? In his first 3 finals. This is why he was considered the greatest of all time. Not just the regular season, it excelled into the playoffs, and then it went into the finals eventually, where it had all these historic games or series, and some of them were games. The only one that we really can't say that he had really in historic series, maybe was the 96 finals, right? Wasn't as historic, but we could say 97 with the flu game, 98, the last shot. We know about the first 3 finals we just talked about. So LeBron, he knew about all these things, right? He knew to even come close to Micheal Jordan, right? He was going to have to, the bar was already set. He was going to have to equal the bar or go above it because the standard was always winning championships, right? I mean, damn, at least if you can't do that, right, meet that standard, a lot of people can't. But at least if you can't reach that standard, you could be statistically dominant like Wilt Chamberlain, right? If it was a team like, a dynasty stopping you from winning championships, it wasn't no dynasty when you was with the Miami Heat. It was no dynasty. You could have had a 4-year dynasty. There was no excuse. That Spurs team was old and beat up, right? When you played them, the Ginobilis, the Parkers, the Tim Duncans. Yes, Kawhi was young, but nobody even knew who this guy was. He got his name off of beating you, and you should have shut him down, but he shut you down in the 2014 finals. So yeah, at least be statistically dominant, right? At least, because Wilt wasn't winning all these championships when they had that historic run with Boston, and nobody was. Can you say anybody else was winning? Right. Nobody else was winning. I think Wilt won 1 in the midst of all that, but nobody else was winning. So let's look at this. We already went through, we already went through the first 3 finals. So I'm only going to go to 6. I don't care what the LeBron fans say. Oh, man, how come you stopping at 6? Because it was over. It was over after 6. That's it. Micheal Jordan was 6-0. There's nothing else to talk about. If you had 3 bad Your first three finals were bad. Basically, they were bad. I don't care if you won in 2012. It was pretty bad. When you go back and look at it, it wasn't all that impressive. Shooting under 50%, 18% from the three, all these turnovers. Somebody had to win the MVP, right? You didn't put up 30 points per game. You was on the super team. So let's look at 96. So 96 for Jordan, 27.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.7 steals, zero point 0.2 blocks on 41.5 field goal percentage, and he shot 31.6 from the three, 83.6 from the free throw line. That's what we didn't have on the other one, right? We didn't have free throws. Oh, he better be lucky. Well, let's look at it right here, because Micheal Jordan in his first finals, 84 from the line, 89 in his second. He shot 69 in that third one, which is incredible to me. LeBron, 69% the first one, second one, 60%, and the third one was 82%, which is shocking to me. So LeBron, for the fourth one, 25.3 points per game, 10.9 rebounds, 7 assists, 2.3 steals, 0.9 blocks, 44.7 from the field. Oh, how? 35% from the three and 79.3 free throw percentage. Now, I don't have the turnovers on here. It's probably a lot, but this right here, 44%. I know you say, well, Michael shot 41. Yeah, but this guy is doing dunks and layups. He's not he's not shooting for the perimeter. Let's keep going. On the fifth one, Micheal Jordan, 32.3 points per game, 7 rebounds. Wow. In 97, 6 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.8 blocks, 45% from the field. Let's see, 32% from three, and 76 from the free throw line. LeBron James. And we got to remember, he's going to get stronger because the league is getting weaker. I'm trying to tell you. San Antonio was the last of the great teams from the early times, right? So, let me see. 28.2 points per game, 7.8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 0.4 blocks. I mean, this is Jordan is averaging more blocks than LeBron James. 57.1 field goal percentage, 51.9 from the three, pretty good, and 79% from the line, which is it's good for him. So he's getting a little bit stronger, and I think he did have a pretty good series in 2014. But it's hard to say because this guy's stat. Remember, this was 2015, so he wasn't really there in those fourth quarters. It was more stat padding, right? It was a lot. When you look at these 4 assists, he wasn't making plays to win games, right? And his rebounds were stat padding. Remember, they lost in the gentleman's sweep. The 28 points, it was a lot of stat padding at the end of those games, in those blowouts. So the 6 finals, Micheal Jordan, 33.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 1.8 steals, 0.7 blocks, 42.7 field goal percentage. And I'm going to tell you why that was so low in a minute. 30% from the three. We all know when in 96, 97, 98, he wasn't even attempting 2 threes a game, if I'm not mistaken. 81% from the line. Oh, so why the field goal percentage was so low is because he was the only guy hitting shots on his team. Go look at the 98 finals. He was the only guy hitting shots, so he had to take a lot of shots. And still, for a perimeter guy, that's still in those late 90s, it's still okay. It's not bad until you get under shooting under 40% for a perimeter guy. Now, if you do that for a guy who's shooting in the paint, it's awful. 2015 for LeBron, 35.8 points per game, 13.3 rebounds, 8.8 assists. Woo! 1.3 steals, zero point 0.5 blocks. You know, he don't like to play defense. 39.8 field goal percentage. Wow. Told you guys. 30% from the three and 68% from the line. And you guys are going to say, well, he had to take a lot of shots. Love and Kyrie, but they were dunks and layups. Mike was doing his work from the perimeter. Right? So when LeBron wasn't hitting the perimeter shot, and look, I don't have it in front of me. Let me see. If I ain't mistaken, LeBron, it was something crazy. That guy averaged like seven attempts from the three attempts. Let me see if I can find that. It was nuts. Oh, I wanted to look at this too. So the first three finals averages, right? Jordan averaged 30. First three finals averages when we put together. Jordan averaged 36 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 0.8 blocks, 3.4 turnovers, 52.8 from the field, 44.3 from the three, and 81.1 from the line. LeBron in his first three finals, well, I don't have that. Hold on. It's the playoffs. Yeah, I don't have. I thought I had it. Let me see something real quick. Trying to find that real quick. Oh yeah. Where you at? Trying to find this. Let me see. Oh, we know about 2007. Yeah, I don't know where that is, man. I'm trying to find it. Let me see. Yeah, so I'm not gonna cry for the LeBron fans. Oh man, you can't just use a couple finals, man. Look, man, it was over in 6. It was over in 6. LeBron knew what he had to do in 6. Like I said, he might have not even came out of it undefeated, and that's fine. A lot of guys are not undefeated in the finals. That's just the way it is. We're not judging everybody on being undefeated, but all these meltdowns and letdowns and stuff that this guy did. Let me see. So he averaged 3.5 turnovers in 2005. 2015. Yeah, he took a 2-1 lead going back home on these guys. We're always taking these 2-1 leads going back home. He did that on Detroit in 2006, and he lost. No, yeah, he took a 3-2 lead on Detroit going back home 2006, and could have closed it out and lost the next 2 games in meltdown fashion. I think he was up 2-1 on the Mavs. He was up 2-1 on the 15 Warriors. But what I'm saying is he never saw a game after these games. He never won a game after that. So let's look at this real fast. And LeBron had every opportunity, but got shut down by Iguodala in the 15 finals, Bruce Bowen in the 07 finals, a combination of Jason Terry. And how could you even have these guys guarding you? And these guys shut you down like And then you talk about somebody else's competition, and you didn't shut nobody down. This guy was just out there playing basketball. He wasn't even, not even good basketball. You talking about somebody else's competition while you getting shut down. So, most points per game by a player in a final series, right? Michael Jordan is number one, 41 points per game. Rick Barry, 40.8. Elgin Baylor, 40.6. Shaq, 38. Jerry West, 37.9. Shaq, again, 36.3. LeBron all the way down there. Didn't even make the top five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And what I'm saying is this guy, 10 finals. 10 finals to eclipse Michael Jordan, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor, Shaq, Jerry West, and Shaq again, and couldn't even do it. You got to remember, LeBron James never broke 30 points per game in the finals until his sixth finals, right? And that took for Kyrie and Love to be out, right? And you see what happened then? He shot under 39%. Anytime this guy has to shoot a lot of shots, like, Michael Jordan, he's going to fail because he's not a shooter, right? So when he went to Miami Heat, this was only his second season shooting 50% in a season, right? It took him until his seventh season to shoot 50% from the field. It took until his 14th season for him to have a 50% field goal percentage overall for his career. So him going to Miami, it was off the chain because he actually shot less and his field goal percentage started to go up. And the league got weaker. He started doing more dunks and layups, and he had to shoot from the perimeter a lot. So LeBron didn't show up to the finals. It didn't happen. Am I saying everybody had, am I saying nobody had bad finals? I'm not trying to say that. Magic Johnson had some, Larry Bird had some, but this guy has had many. And the ones he has been historic. Right? In with super teams. And he knew what he had to do to pass Michael Jordan. They gave this dude everything. Super teams. They took out defense. He didn't have to guard no best players. None of this. He could stat pad, all this stuff. And he could have passed Michael Jordan like it was nothing. Michael Jordan would have averaged 40. I promise. In every playoff series, Michael Jordan would have averaged 45 in the LeBron era. Every damn. And don't talk about passing. Mike would have averaged at least 8 assists per game. At least in every finals. The floor is wide open. Who's going to stop you from getting all these rebounds? It's easy. LeBron has never had the motor like Michael Jordan. Never. He's fast. He's quick. But he doesn't have the motor on both sides like Michael Jordan.